Here we are again, my wayward youngsters. I see some of you are still wasting your energy on cheap pleasures, not realizing what you're losing. But don't worry. Grandpa is here to open your eyes. Listen carefully. There's something the ancient wise men already knew, something the most successful men in history understood perfectly. And if you don't learn it now, you might spend your life as a slave to your impulses, never realizing you're digging your own grave. Every time you give in to an easy pleasure, you are trading your future for a moment of weakness. Your energy, your ambition, your potential, all fading away, leaving you tired, unmotivated, and trapped in a cycle of mediocrity. But let me tell you a story about a man just like you, and how he learned too late that pleasure is a trap. Once upon a time, in the great city of Rome, there was a young man named Marcus. He was born into privilege, never knowing hardship, never having to fight to survive. He had everything a man could desire: food, wine, entertainment, comfort. But Marcus had a fatal flaw. He was weak. Not physically, no. He had the strength of youth. But his mind was fragile. He couldn't resist temptation. Every time he felt the impulse for pleasure, he gave in without a second thought. He wasted his nights in taverns, lost himself in distractions, and when he was alone, he indulged in his lowest impulses, draining the energy he needed to move forward in life. He thought it didn't matter. He told himself, "I'm young. I have time. Tomorrow I'll be strong. Tomorrow I'll change." But that tomorrow never came, because every day he repeated the same mistakes. Until one day, as he wandered through the forum, his mind clouded by exhaustion, he heard a voice, firm, serene, full of wisdom. It was an old man surrounded by a group of young men. This was Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers of his time. Marcus stopped and listened, and what he heard shook him to his core. A man enslaved by pleasure is like a dog tied to a cart. He thinks he is free, but he merely follows wherever his desires pull him. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. The words felt personal, as if that old man could see right through him. Gathering courage, Marcus stepped forward and asked, "Why do you say pleasure enslaves us? Isn't it a natural part of life?" Epictetus looked at him, not with anger, not with judgment, but with the patience of a grandfather who had seen too many young men waste their lives. "Pleasure is not the enemy," the old man said, "but dependence on pleasure is the chain that binds weak men. A man who constantly seeks pleasure is like a slave who needs his master to feel at peace. His will weakens, his energy fades, and his mind grows foggy. Tell me, young man, what have you built this past week? What have you created? What battles have you won?" Marcus had no answer. He had built nothing. He had won nothing. He had done nothing except chase pleasure. The old man sighed and continued, "A lion that is fed every day in a cage grows fat and lazy. He forgets how to hunt. And when the day comes that the cage is opened, he is no longer a lion. He is prey. If you waste your strength on empty pleasures, you will become weak. Your energy is sacred, and if you squander it, there will be nothing left to forge your destiny." The great men of Rome did not become powerful by indulging their desires, but by mastering them. For the first time in his life, Marcus saw himself as he truly was, not a man, but a prisoner, and he knew he had to change. From that day on, Marcus made a vow. He would never again let his impulses control him. He would never again waste his nights on empty pleasures. Instead, he dedicated himself to discipline, to strength, to purpose. He woke up early and trained his body. he studied philosophy, strategy, and leadership. He sought out mentors, men who had achieved greatness, and learned from them. And every time his old habits tried to drag him back, he remembered Epictetus's words: "The man who masters himself masters the world." And so, Marcus transformed. He rose through the ranks, gained respect, power, and wisdom. He became a leader, a warrior, a man of virtue. And when he reached old age, he looked back with pride, knowing he had not wasted a single moment. But not all men learn this lesson. Some never escape the trap. Some waste years, decades, chasing fleeting pleasures, only to wake up one day and realize they have built nothing, and by then, it is too late. So tell me, my young ones, what kind of man will you be? Will you keep wasting your energy, trading your future for moments of pleasure? Will you keep telling yourself that tomorrow you will change? Or will you take control right now and forge your own destiny? Because life waits for no one, and if you don't master yourself, the world will do it for you.